chop all these siege tanks now. Those drones really desperately trying to run for their lives. There's Wednesday Night
vVv Gaming.
In Game 4 of this best of 7 series between Bio and Rocker here on Shakuras Plateau. Bio opting to choose the yellow Zerg, a very nice color for us casters, to keep track of where units are, versus Rocker, who will be the purple Protoss.
And we will have Rocker spawning in the southeast position, excuse me, as the purple Protoss, as you mentioned. And he needs to come back in this one because his team is down 2-1, and his opponent will be Convergence Gaming's Bio spawning as the yellow Zerg in the southwest position. So we don't have full cross positions for the first time in this Wednesday Night Starcraft, and we also don't have a TBZ for the first time in this Wednesday Night Starcraft.
Yeah, it almost felt like the first 3 games was just a best of 3 series, and now we're finally starting to get into the actual clan war as Rocker is going for that Forge Fast expansion, pretty much like we assumed. Now, Forge Fast expansion normally puts the Protoss player even on bases, and then it's up to the Zerg to figure out how to respond. They can either try to establish up a third base at the natural expansion, which may be a bit of an option since it is further away, or they can try to go into some sort of 2-base pressure, which we did recently see. I believe it was Complexities Naniwa versus yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Quantix, I think Naniwa now.
Is it? Well, back then it was Complexity, right?
Right, MLG Providence, where he played a series against Leenock and just kept Forge Fast expanding, and Leenock said, "I know ways to beat this," and he basically did every bust under the sun. It was a 2-base Roach, 1-base Roach, Hatch Cancel Roach, and I think the only thing he didn't do was a Baneling bust, which I have seen him do on occasion. So there are ways to sort of beat the Forge Fast expand, but they're basically they're all in for the most part.
All right.
You can't recover.
All right, we'll see what's going to happen here as Bio is getting that spawning pool up first. It looks like Rocker's still going to go for that Nexus first. Going to harvest some minerals, perhaps make his way over to the pylon, build a forge, as a drone is now going to sneak its way in. And we do see the forge finally being established by Rocker. A photon cannon should be coming in just a moment. And then the Zerglings should be streaming across the map. Zerglings take quite a bit of time to build, as we also see a hatchery being established, and it is a proxy hatch.
Yeah, that's an interesting play. So Rocker has a few options here. He can pull probes and try to take that down, or he can let it finish and then take it down a little bit later. But if you do allow that to finish, then you are going to open yourself up to some different sorts of rush.
Yeah, what I think Rocker's going to do is I think Rocker is going to take this probe and then just build a cannon up on the high ground. That a high ground cannon will start to attack that hatchery. The hatchery is pretty much already halfway done, so he has to be really careful about this. Double gateways now morphing in, and the hatchery is only going to have 1 larva at a time. That's one thing very, very important to know. With only 1 larva hatching at a time, it's not going to really be a large flood of units that you really need. The photon cannon is in range, so Rocker was looking at that going, what, are you kidding me? And there's the cancellation on that hatchery.
Yeah, so it looks like Bio is going to try to allow that to finish, and now basically forced to extractor trick, both to save that drone for just a moment, maybe get some late scouting, and also to sort of steal an extractor. But Rocker has both these bases well established. He can just take the other gases, and Bio has expanded to that third, so that hatchery put him a little bit behind. He was able to get the minerals back, but he could have gotten the third down a little bit earlier.
Yeah, he could have gotten that third down much earlier, as a Zergling may perhaps try to sneak its way in. And we finally see assimilators coming in for Rocker. Still no cybernetics core as of yet. As we now see an Overlord still flying overhead, and what will be happening here as a Zealot going after the Zerglings. Cybernetics core is completed, and my daughter is now home from daycare.
There you go. She's a Zerg player, right?
Yes, she is a Zerg player, so
she can come root for Bio.
She can root for Bio, and she's already laughing at what Bio did earlier, apparently enjoying the proxy hatchery play, and getting it canceled.
That's some fun stuff, and now he's just making drones, which is also fun. If she's any sort of Zerg player, I'm sure she's thrilled by this game so far.
Yeah, so far, but I think she's wondering why Bio hasn't gotten any gas. We are now 6 minutes and 30 seconds into this game, and still Bio is like, you know what? I have 35 drones and 7 Zerglings and 1 Queen, and there's still no gas in sight. So we can also see that Rocker is going for a Nexus as well, and really, nice. I can't make any plans or any ideas on what the strategies will be until this game actually gets underway. We're still in the early stages. Both players doing these elaborate defense setups in the beginning, making sure that they have the strongest economy possible while being able to fend off the other attacker. And we finally see a Roach Warren now being built along with 4 extractors.
So typically, you know, after you get that second Nexus up as a Protoss player and you get your wall off, that's when you choose your tech. But we have no tech chosen for Rocker so far. He just has 2 gateways, and he is making Zealots, and he's sort of controlling the center of the map and forcing Zerglings with those Zealots. And because he doesn't have any sort of tech, just now throwing down a Twilight Council, that's going to allow him to get the Nexus up, the 3rd one, very, very quickly. And that's an interesting position for it. Typically, you don't see that so much, though the 3rd is often taken in the mid or later game for Protoss.
Yeah, very interesting. And also, I almost want to say that Rocker is Forge fast expanding, where he's doing a very similar build at the other natural expansion, and Zerglings are not going to be able to run in there either. So Roaches are going to try to push. Rocker needs to reposition that Photon Cannon. The Roaches can attack the gateway without actually getting within range of that Photon Cannon there. That may be a bit of an issue, as we see 3 Zealots at the center Xel'Naga Tower, and now a squadron of Roaches moving across the center.
Yeah, and 2 gateways are finishing for Rocker, so he's gonna have Warp Gate tech and 4 gates, so he might be able to fend these Roaches off. But the Roaches could very easily poke at that 3rd. There are a number of cannons going down. There will be 3 cannons shortly, but right now they're just sort of wrestling back that map control. They're taking those towers with Zerglings, but he's got some Roaches here he really needs to do something with. He also needs to perhaps take a 4th to stay a base ahead of Rocker.
Yeah, I don't think Bio yet knows about the expansion over here. He's gonna run up there with those Zerglings and see a complete wall off here, and then perhaps make another smiley face. It seems like Bio and Rocker are good friends, knowing each other pretty well, and we'll see what's gonna come here as Zealots, Stalkers, and Sentries now perhaps need to take down this Forge, destroy it, and then make their way out of the base.
Yeah, they might do just that once this +1 does finish. Also, we have a Dark Shrine about 2/3 of the way done, so we don't have, well, there is a lair for Bio, and he also has the Evolution Chamber, so he can create Spore Crawlers. Right now, he's going for Spire, though, so yeah, it looks like he's going to be playing for a little bit of a later game with the Spire, and we've got +2 started for Rocker, so we've got no double upgrade, or no taking down that Forge. He is going for the double upgrade.
Yeah, a little bit of a strange move there. Perhaps one of the warp gates will get destroyed, as now Rocker is going into more gateways inside his base. This is one of those situations where who can build an army faster, and 9 times out of 10, I would say Zerg. So Zerg now with a 30 food advantage and his income, but what is happening now? Dark Templars making their way across the center. We are getting into that Spire. Overseer should be coming in as well. I believe that there was actually 3 Dark Templars. They could actually snipe down a hatchery, as the Dark Templars now 1 in the natural expansion, 1 in the main base. Drones are falling. 1 drone, 2 drones, double Overseers now being added here, as the Dark Templar could go after a couple more drones, perhaps not getting a little bit confused on what to attack, as more drones going down in the main base as well. And now Dark Templars going over to the 3rd base.
Yeah, we've got Dark Templars in the 3rd, and there's no detection in the 3rd. So Bio being forced to pull all these drones off, and he's just losing a ton of drones. 19 killed so far, and that's going to put him behind 74 probes to 60 drones. So he's going to have to spend a lot of minerals and larvae just droning up again, and Rocker's going to have this +2 about to finish, Blink about to finish, and he has added quite a few gateways, so you could hit a really nice Blink +2 timing.
Yeah, Roaches are now making their way out to the north, but it looks like the hatchery may fall. This is going to come very, very close. The Overseer needs to get there. Is it going to get there in time? It looks like it might just do that. Down to 134 hit points. 36, 1 more slash. It does get taken down. So it is 3 bases to 3 bases once again.
That That was just huge damage done by those DTs. They all ended up dying, but so many drones killed, 22 drones and a hatchery. So now you're on equal bases. You're down in harvesters by almost 20. It's 76 to 58. And it's not like Rocker isn't teching up behind this. He's got upgrades. He's got Immortals coming out. So he's going to have a very strong Immortal Blink +2 army. And he's going to push here, start +3 as well. It's going to be a very, very scary push.
Yeah, it feels like just recently Protoss players have found out how effective Immortals are. That +1 to range, so powerful, as now we're going to have, what, 5 Immortals going up against these Roaches. Stalkers are in position as well. In comes the engagement. The Stalkers, blinking the wrong direction. Could have perhaps actually chased after those units, gotten in a bit more damage, and perhaps even focused down the Overseer to allow the Stalkers to engage, the Dark Templars to engage. Roaches now battling it out once more. The Overseer may get taken down. A very expensive detector now destroyed, and now Overlords may get taken down as well.
We've got a lot of Lings on the way, which is kind of the right decision against these Stalkers and the Immortals. Lings do quite well, but he's going to have to get a surround, and a lot of force fields do go down, making this Protoss army just a little bit more safe, and he's going to hug this wall, make sure he gets in a good position. There are Mutas out as well, but just 7 of them, and these Blink Stalkers could focus those down very easily. Rocker going to be making his way up into the natural here. If he gets on this ramp, it's going to be so difficult to engage for Bio.
And there's the GG by Bio. Just a simple A move after some Dark Templar harass, catching Bio out of position, and Rocker able to even up the series. We are now at Game 5 in this series, with both teams winning 2 games apiece.